All right. Welcome back to our little QUB Esports podcast. This week we've got another interviewee. Yeah. This is Mark, our content officer. Say hi, Mark.
Hello.
And my other... sorry, carry on.
Actually, no, wait, I was going to say something, but I fucked it.
No swearing. Not allowed to swear. We're professional podcast here. And my host, Boehner, who has just woken up. So I imagine I'll be doing a lot of the talking today. So first of all, Mark...
It's funny. It's a funny story about that.
It's funny.
It's just funny. The fact that man texts us in, let's go ahead and do this at 7. We're here for 7. And he's just not here for 7.
We've been sat here for the last 20 minutes going, I wonder where he is.
That's a sign of a true gamer. That's all being honest.
Fell asleep at his desk on the Minecraft grind.
On the grind.
Working 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
Although 2 of them hours, I was asleep.
I'm not even surprised either. That's a funny thing.
Right, so then, Mark, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right, so I'm Mark, if you didn't already know, I would say. So I would be QUB Esports' content officer. I took over from Luke. If I'd would have known him from the first year that this has been going on. This is, I want to say, technically the second year that this has been going on. I essentially oversee... I would say oversee most of the content that goes on, so the whole of the likes of this podcast would be one of them. And anything that goes on whenever Twitch teams is going on from Newell, if anyone ever wants to do anything like any video editing, graphic designing, music production, it's mainly, I would be the person that sort of oversees all of that. So it's mainly just anything that you see content being done, I'm just there sort of looking at it, essentially. So
interesting, thanks.
It is interesting.
You're a big brother of the QUB Esports.
I have this society on my back. My shoulders are sore from the amount of carrying I do. But no, I would sort of be like overseeing essentially just that. And then I leave everything else up to your committee folk. They tell me what to do and I sometimes tell them what to do. It's a nice back and forward, I honestly would say. So it's POG, essentially. I knew that you would have cringed at that.
That's end of this episode then.
Bye. Oh, unreal.
Right, so then outside of this, what do you do? Like, what do you study? What do you do outside of uni life?
So whenever it comes to what I'm studying, I'm second year at Queen's, funny enough, and I'm studying film studies and production, so it's a 3-year course essentially, and it focuses on anything production side of film, because I started doing stuff like that actually in sixth form. I started with moving image arts, which is what the film course was, and I was like, you know what, this isn't a bad thing to keep on, because I thought that this is the one thing I know what I'm doing, and then here I am. I want to say it probably started everything else. So essentially that's what I do with Queen's now. And outside content wise, it would be like, so streaming would be the big one. Then YouTube is essentially where it started all, so that's how it started. You've also got recently casting is like I've done a few casts here and there. It's something I've been wanting to get a bit more into. I'm still trying to find my like foot in getting into it, because it's still a wee bit of a daunting experience, because like there's sort of like casting in your own, just talking absolute waffle, and then talking in front of, let's say, a couple hundred people, and then they're expecting you to sort of know what you're talking about. Well, whenever it's me, I just have not a clue. I'm just rambling on just to see what I see. And then it's other types of content in terms of outside would be photography and then cinematography with podcasting as well. Actually, funny enough, I have my own one outside of this, and then I was one of the main people try to get this one started off. But the photography and the cinematography would be like a freelance type of thing. So I specialize in mainly I started off with landscaping. That would be a big sort of like photography aspect. Recently got into more astrophotography in the last few years, and then events as well. And then cinematography would be the main bulk of what I ever saw. All of the 4 productions I've shot, all of them have been cinematography and color rolls, just because that's more fun. Like, directing is just telling people what to do. Producing is just, you need to know money I can't even do my 7 times tables. Never mind try to figure out a film production. And like, it's just holding the cameras are probably the best thing of what I can do. So those would be the main things I probably would do outside.
Fair play.
I'm a busy man.
Sounds like it.
I have no free time anywhere. Like it's terrible.
I have too much. I have a combination of too much and not enough.
I know. Saying like there's days I'll sit in and I'm like, I'm gonna try to be productive today, and like, and nothing happens. And then there's days where I'm doing so much, and it's like, I just the work-life balance doesn't exist at all.
Oh, I know it's so weird. I don't know what it is, but I just find myself not having any free time. Like tomorrow, I've got a 2-hour lecture, and then work in the evening at like 6. But I will not relax all day.
Yeah, no, that's why. Like, I always have to be doing something.
So weird.
Like, I always just have to be like doing something. And then there's Banner, 9 to 5 today, and he's like, he had time to have a wee nap because he needs it. He's such a busy man.
9 to 5 today, except sleep from, was it 4, half 4?
Yeah. To be honest, I always have way too much free time, or I find more free time. I will always have time for a sleep, pretty much, or just to lie down and do nothing. I'm probably one of the most unorganized people there is.
Must be nice.
Yeah. It must be nice.
So, Mark, moving on to the society, and your role in it. So, how did you first join the server? Like, and when was that?
See, it was during my first year, because during that 2020 period, everything was online at the time, and it was like trying to join anything was just a pain, because I was like, right, I do not know a single person that, like, at all, and even at the time I wasn't even interested in anything esports wise. Like, it was in, I want to say it was at the start of January, because I remember sort of looking for you on the SU's page of like a list of stuff, and then that came up, and I was like, oh, I never used Discord before, so I thought I would just join it. And then I remember instinctively trying to get back into CSGO at the time, because I started it back in like 2015. He's eye-rolling, and then he just so everyone.
I've voiced my opinion on CSGO in previous episodes. I think I just hate it.
Like everyone who has came on here has had some sort of experience with it, and it's just like, and then I have my experiences with League, and it's like, it's just shocking. I just don't know what's going on. This is terrible.
I think everyone has that experience with League. Even like the pros are like, yeah.
Everyone I know who likes League hates it. It's just a common trend. Like, and then that's what I find going into here as well. Like, because I did play a bit of League at the start, and then everyone who I spoke to, they're like, it's a shit game, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah. Like, it's the same with CS. A lot of people would say that too, but CS would have been the first one that I would have done starting off. So whenever I joined in January, that was the first chat I joined, and I was like, and I believe it was Corey was the first person I played with, and then also remember Edgard playing with him as well, and then James Merluxia then came along, and then from then it sort of just spiraled into more games from there. And then even if you have a look at my Discord profile now, it's like the fucking Infinity Stones, just collecting them all with the amount of roles I have. It's literally I'm just jumping myself really just into anything, because it's given me more experience more than anything with everything what I want to do. It's helped with a lot of aspects, so I would say that's really how I joined. I was just browsing, and then at the time I just got a PC there, literally, and I was like, you know what, I think it's about time to jump back into stuff, and then it's just snowballed from there. But I'm interested, how did you join, actually? Because I don't even remember whether you were before me or after me.
I don't remember either. I must have been about the same time, because I'm only second year, and I joined last year. I don't remember when or why though. I think someone. Do you guys know Mark?
What's up, Benny?
Okay.
Me?
No, obviously no. Yeah, do you know yourself? No, Mark. He's probably going to listen, and It's Mark Lee.
I think I may know, because I do know.
I think he plays Siege or CS:GO.
Oh,
or Valorant, maybe.
I might know. Yes, I know a Mark who does Valorant.
Yeah, it might be him then. I think we were talking one night, and he was like, "Oh, you play League? Are you in the esports thing?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Tell me more." And then I joined, and then I've been in the team since. and I've been the reason we've lost every tournament because I get fucking tilted. Oh, I'm so bad at not. I'm so bad at not swearing.
This I
get tilted and just run it down. But yeah, so I think it was just a mate was like, "You should do this. You might have fun."
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I joined. I remember it was quite a while ago. Might have been 2 years ago actually. God, I think I honestly just searched for some sort of gaming society, and then I seen Dragonslayer skip that, and then went to esports. And I think I was a lurker in the server for a good while. Probably about half a year to a year, and then I think we got like a huge uptake in Rocket League players the year after. So I started playing, and then I realized how bad I am at Rocket League.
Honestly, same.
I'm better.
You think you're bad? You haven't seen me.
It's like with me and Rocket League have this love-hate relationship where I hit diamond once in 2s, but everyone plays like 3s and 4s, and I'm like, I just don't want to do that. I just can't.
4s?
Down off friends.
Or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Like, I haven't played it in that long that it's been ages since. I've always wanted to get back into it, to be fair.
I've had somebody told me you were champ at one point.
That is very incorrect. Definitely
Although,
not.
Did you hit diamond before the rank changes?
I want to say I hit diamond. God, probably in summer. Was whenever I hit it. As for the last time I played it, for definite. I know that. I haven't played it. I don't think that in the new season at all.
I can't remember what it was, but basically they brought all the ranks MMRs down. It's literally the only reason I'm champ 3 at the minute. But if you hit diamond before that, you probably would be champ now.
I'm champ now. I'm basically cracked. I'm cracked no matter what I play on. Although I was tempted to play it with mouse and keyboard to see how that was, but I better not.
My housemate Kieran, who's on the server, he plays mouse and keyboard, and he's way better than me. It's insane. But the only thing is, whenever he plays a game, like all you can hear down the mic is just his keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he has like blue switches on his keyboard or something as well. But anyways, so how did you get the to become content officer? Like, who reached out to you? Who?
I have to be honest, I don't remember. Like, I mean, it wasn't like a whole big inaugural process. There's a whole big voting system. They had a big ceremony, like whenever they were doing like the committee roles, everyone gave their wee presentation. I think someone just dropped me a message and said, "Do you want to be it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then that was it. I wanted to say it was either Corey or Roe. I don't remember. I remember at one point being in a, I think the story lines up where I was in a VC with James, just about to be the start of one of the Newell matches, and I got dragged into a like committee secret VC with basically every single member, and I'm like, fuck, what have I done? Because I was just getting dragged before game starts, and they're like, "Do you want to be it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Because I think at that time I was one of the ones who was streaming a lot, and I sort of like, I want to say voice my opinion and say like, I sort of know what I'm doing, like I vaguely know what I'm doing. I still half the time don't know what I'm doing, but I'm sort of just figuring out as I go along. But I think that sort of started from there, literally just saying like, "Do you want to be it?" Because I know whenever Luke was doing it, and Luke actually still streams now, he'd be very extremely popular when it comes to Minecraft speedrunning. He would have been like he's still one of the more, I'm pretty sure he was in a Twitch, I think he was in a Twitch Rivals, I think I'm getting straight, he was in a Twitch Rivals tournament where his team won like, they won like $50,000 or something. I want to say in a collective, I think I got it right, but he was definitely in a Twitch Rivals.
I remember saying he won the Twitch Rivals thing.
I think that's what it was. I think they did win money for that, because I know there was multiple people that I follow who were tweeting about it. And I'm like, because that's what he would have done. And I know also does video editing. He started the Monarch series, which went on for one episode, which I'm raging didn't go on for any more. And it was like where they went around and interviewed, like, I think they started off with the original back six from CS. They had like in-person interviews with them, which they didn't go on after that. And I was up raging about it because it seemed like such a good thing to go into. But no, so whenever I took it over from him, because he graduated, I essentially looked into it and I was like, right, so what can we do? And I've essentially just done a whole bunch of stuff from there then.
Fair dues.
Very nice.
Fair dues.
And so you've been, this is still like a relatively new society because it's so modern and 21st century. So you've been in for the majority of it. So what like impact have you had on the society, would you say?
I wouldn't go out of my way and then say, look, I've changed it for the better. Like, I've just been someone, like, I know that...
So what you're saying is you changed it for the worse?
Well... well, I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that, but to be fair, probably some people probably would say that. But, it's got to that point where, like, if everyone sort of knows who you are, then you're doing something, right? Especially whenever that social was going on, then people figured out I wasn't there. And then that was like a shitstorm was when happened. So I did say I had stuff to do, but in reality I couldn't be arse going, which isn't really a good sign on my part. But like, because I haven't told him, I was just like, oh, I forgot it was the day, and I was like, can't really be.
It was good fun. You missed out.
I know. I was raging after the fact, but I was there and I was sitting down and I was like an hour to it, and I'm like, I'm alright. Personally,
I got to meet Boehner in person before I actually knew who he was.
Yep.
But
it was so weird. I had loads of people come up to me and be like, it's you're Chicken and Winning from the server. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, it's me. I'm like, yeah, who are you?
That's what I would have been feared of, because everyone sort of knows my name anyways. They would have been like, oh, Mark. And I'm like, who?
Oh, that was a really bad thing about that night, because I wouldn't say well known in the server, but I'm known on the server for just randomly chatting shit in pretty much every single channel.
Yep.
Like, I will go into the CSGO channel and just do CSGO Omega LOL, and I'll go into the Valorant channel and do the exact same.
Good stuff.
So at that esports night, so many people. This is gonna sound like so.
Came up and hit you.
So many people knew who I was, and I came up and said hi, and I had no clue who they were, and it was just horrible because I had honestly no clue who half the people were. But I also realized there are way more people in the server that I don't know than I thought there was.
Mm-hmm.
There's a load. This is
There's a load. Like, it's very big.
It's not a small society. It's mad.
It has to be one of the fastest growing ones in Queens, because I think Dragon Slayers is above us, but they've been around for a very long time. Like, they've been around longer than us. We've been we're not even 2 years old, I don't think. Which is the the funny thing, which I think was like, I'm pretty sure whenever Chris has been interviewed, I don't think he's seen it going as far as what it, and I think COVID helped with that, because everyone was sort of at home and taking on these new skills, and then from then it helped. It certainly helped me get to where I am now. So, and then coming back whenever we were saying about the impact, I would say content wise I've made a stronger push for it. Like, you would have seen that we started off with the main trailer that across every platform is, I think, 600 to 700 views that one hit. I know YouTube is sitting about 300 a minute, and then you also had Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We pushed it out to basically most of the clubs and society Facebook groups there at the time, and then whenever we pushed that out, we seen a small influx of people. And then you would have then seen whenever Discord released the student hubs, as soon as our one got put up there, that's whenever it exploded. So you would have seen tons of people then joining at that point. And then from then I was like, right, I'm going to sit down and make a trailer for each game. So every single video you've seen, every edited thing that you've seen be posted up on that channel has been done for me. And no one came to me at the time. Was like, can you do that? I literally said, everyone said, look, can I do that? You haven't uploaded anything in a year, and it's kind of shocking. And then so that's what we've been doing now, and we're currently in the process of trying to get more people involved whenever it comes to casting and stuff like that, because a lot of people want to do it. Like, a lot of people want to figure out what they want to do. Like, whenever I released the forums to say, is anyone interested, I had 95 responses to it of people. Jesus. Like 60% of people were wanting to actually maybe do something like this full time, which a lot of people are like, I want to do it, but I don't really know how to start it. So that's whenever I was like, right, I would sit down and try to make a whole bunch of plans. So in terms of plans and impacts, I know the first thing of what I always want to do was some type of masterclass thing for each sort of aspect what people want to do. I've already held one. We had I think 15, 20 people appear whenever I ran it on my Twitch at the time for editing, because I sat down, I showed them the editing of it was one of the trailers of what I'd done, so I just sat down and said, like, this is exactly how you want to do, like, how to create a montage scene, how to, like, dramatic effect, how to sort of, like, turn an absolute, like, donkey balls of a clip and make it seem good even though it's kind of ass, like how to do stuff like that. And then obviously I had Banner reaching. What were you reaching? Did you reach champ whenever I put it in on the trailer?
That's a beautiful clip.
It was a beautiful clip. Like stuff like that, like including, like, showing them it doesn't have to be all about acing and being insane. It's like, it's moments like that that's what makes it good. Like especially you probably find Banner all the hard work sort of paying off at that one point. It's it's nice.
I was how long was I trying to get champ for? It's a good few months. But yeah, I literally that one day, I just streamed. That was a long ass stream as well. Like that went on all day because I basically just sat down, said I'm getting champ, and just let that clip because I eventually got it, and then I got hard stuck in champ, and it took me 8 months to get out of it.
Yeah, like it was like shit like that where I said to people, look, that's going to happen, and you have to reflect that. So that's why you see there's at least one clip in each trailer where it's just someone making a fool of themselves, and it's like they had one of the ones in CS where Rowe tried to take off his silencer in the middle of a gunfight, and then there was another one where Glenn Aspect, who graduated, who done the exact same thing but in the middle of like a tournament game. Like stuff like that, just including MN is fun. And then that was one of the master classes what we do, which I still plan to do more. It's just, once again, just trying to find the time to be able to do it. I want to be able to do one on casting. Is going to be one. A lot of people want one on how to stream effectively on Twitch. TikTok has actually been another one people are wanting to get to know more, especially with how to sort of learn how to sort of get viewers from that, because one thing to know is that Twitch isn't, like, I don't want to say sustainable, but trying to grow on that is not possible. It's not going to be possible. The discoverability on that is terrible. So everyone sort of wants to know, right, how can I use other platforms to do it? And that's how I started. So I'm glad that I have all this experience. I'm essentially just sharing down. So those master classes, you could say, are one of the things. And then it's mainly just trying to get more people involved. Like, I know that the content channel's been a bit more active recently, because I would even drop in, like, my like stream summaries, my, like, anytime I upload something and anything like that, and then people are now more starting to use it, and it's just trying to get more people involved because they don't really know how to. So I would say that's what I'm attempting to do anyway. Then I think if they like me, they'll certainly try to keep me on, I think, for another year until I graduate or become president. Probably not. Probably
Take
not.
over. Make it a dictatorship.
That's another thing I can't be asked doing. It sounds like too much effort. It really just sounds like far too much effort, so probably not. I'll probably just stick with where I'm at, unless something bad happens, and then I just retire. Sure. I'm getting too old anyway, so you know me.
So, going on from that, let's talk about your gaming career, esports career. Yeah, professional gamer.
Exactly.
So first of all, just to let everyone know, like, what games do you play? If you want to say the competitive games you play for the server, and then any casual games you would play in, like, your free time to, like, unwind or something.
Yeah, like, I think the question asked is what games don't I play at this rate? Because it's like, well, the first one would be CS, would be the main one. That one for me competitively started whenever I first joined, like a few months into it. I was like, you know what, I've started to get back into it. I had a two year long break from it. I was like, you know what, let's get back into that. For in terms of the most recent ones, R6 would have been a new one. That one started this year, or actually, well, I keep thinking this is still 2020, so technically last year, and that one started by me being asked by our Lord and Savior Kevin if I could sub for the, at that time, what was their team name? It wasn't Lightning McQueen's. They had a team name before that, and I'm trying to remember what it is. It was I don't remember, because it's Lightning McQueen's now, but I don't remember what the old name was. I forgot.
I'm not sure either.
Oh,
I've
fuck.
no idea.
That's really bad. That's really bad. They're going to be upset at me for not doing it. Right, well, I subbed for them, and I said to them, I said, Kevin, look, I played this game twice, and you're wanting me to sub for your second level team. And I didn't do too bad. I'm pretty sure we won one. And I was like, right, okay, well, that's not too bad. And then I was on Queen's Guardians for a bit, but timings didn't really work out for me, so I like sub for them more often. But it's a game that I'm wanting to get back into. I'm only level 25 in it. But it's something that's still so new to me that it's like gun skill's fine, but you see, trying to figure out right the strats for a map, what agents to pick, where to put what, where each call it's like it's a lot. Like relating it back to CS, all I need to know is right, so I can just figure out where to place util here and the callouts. But you need to figure out on R6 what agent to pick for what map, so you need to learn multiple, and then it's really a team-based game. It's the same as Valorant in a way. Valorant would be another one that's most recently started, and because that's so close to CS, it's one I've been liking a bit more. It's essentially what I say, it's R6, CS, and Overwatch all mixed into one, because it's got that R6 value with figuring out what agent to pick on each map, and essentially it's such a team heavy game. Like with CS, you could sort of go off on your own and do something, but with Valorant, I don't think you can. It's extremely hard. And then it has that aspect of Overwatch with the heroes in a way, which Overwatch is a game I just refuse to pick up again. It's kind of like League. I just don't understand it. I just don't know how to play it, like, at all. Like I did. Is there not like a second one now, or are they releasing a second one, like an Overwatch 2?
Yep.
It sounds familiar, but I don't really follow it much.
So never do I, but I'm like, I may try picking it up again whenever that comes out, but at the minute, no, it's not gonna be happening. Rocket League wouldn't be something I play competitively. It would be another one that's on the list of stuff that I would go on. It would be more of a game to unwind. Like, it would be a game I would like to take on, but you have a look at your top teams and the amount of ceiling shots and air dribbles, and I'm just like, nah, that's just never going to happen. Like, no matter how long as I try, this is not going to happen. And then the other one would be COD, which would be the that's the one I almost gave up Counter-Strike for. I was at that point where not a lot of people know, but I almost pulled a Chris, where Chris left CS to go to COD, and I almost did the same. But the reason what pulled me, because I started off with Cold War, and then Cold War's the first game I got really, really competitive in. Like, I almost hit the top 2% with Master. I was so close. I didn't get there. Like, I only hit Expert, which was top 10, and I was so annoyed about it. And that was the first game I took really seriously because it was fun. And then Vanguard hasn't released a League play mode yet, so I'm back to CS, and I think that's where I'm going to be staying until they release something, because there hasn't been anything to incite me into it. So teams wise, I'm on the CS team. That would be Blackhawks, and then the R6 team and then the COD team is what I'm on. And then in terms of games to unwind, anything like open world, like RPG. Like I've been streaming a lot of God of War because I played it a lot on PS4 at the time, and I didn't finish it. And I was like, as soon as it came out on PC, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to finish it here. And it's just such a stunning game. Like it just really is. So I've been loving that at the minute. And then I'm waiting for God of War Ragnarok to release, and I'm like, if it's good enough, that'll make me want to buy a PS5, essentially.
Yeah. Well,
if I can get hold of one.
My issue. I really want to play God of War and Assassin's Creed, but I've never had a PlayStation.
Yeah, because that's what I was like. Because I'm waiting for, I'm going with the idea of going for a PS5, but purely for single player 4K games. That's the only reason why it's going to be used. It's not going to be used anything multiplayer. It's going to be for like PC and stuff. But PS5 is going to be used for strictly like whenever the new Horizon Zero Dawn drops, whenever God of War drops, plus like Days Gone, stuff like that, games that I want to play in 4K. That's where the PS5 is going to come in, if I can get a hold of one. I'm still just looking and just seeing. There hasn't been any that have dropped recently, so it's just been sad. So this is spending my whole time on PC now. But basically anything open world is what I would be loving. I'm trying to get free RDR2 at the minute. It's such a big game. Like it's just such a long game. And I bought all the Witchers again, so I'm starting off with Witcher 1 and then working my way up. So anything like that is what I find quite like, fun. But no doubt you used to more, like, other than competitive games, you probably have your own type of games to unwind to.
No, I play 2 games. Yeah.
League?
Yeah, I play
I play
one
League.
game.
I play League, then when I get stressed out at League, I play Binding of Isaac. That's it.
What is it?
Binding of Isaac. Oh, it's sick. It's a roguelike.
Oh.
Based on like kind of religion stuff. Like every item you can get is either religion or like shit based, basically.
Got it.
No, like it literally is.
It just literally is.
Yeah, like one of the items is E. coli.
Oh right. Oh wow.
Like literal shit. But like it's really fun. And it's like really it's a good thing to do, like to relax.
Because games like that are nice because it's just like you just like those like stuff where you just want to like you don't want to sit there and play for hours, but say if you got 20-30 minutes free, I'm just gonna hop on and just go through this. Especially whenever CS stresses me out that much. It's like I just need one game. This is another game actually. Hollow Knight is what I've started getting into, but it stresses me out. It's stressing me out a wee bit. Because so that's another game that stresses me out. But Banner, do you have any?
So, Rocket League, I've put an ungodly amount of hours in. I remember, so there was a season, couple of seasons ago, I did 90 hours in 2 weeks in Rocket League.
Christ.
Yeah. Since that season, that was the season I got champ as well. But since that season, I've kind of fallen off Rocket League. I don't play it as much. I've been playing just random games now. Basically, anything like the Chessers pick up, I usually pick up. I've been playing Duck Game, if you've ever played that before.
I've heard of it.
Heard of it, yeah, but I can't
recall what it is.
It's I don't even know. It's like a pixel art shooting game made by Adult Swim.
Oh, I've heard it's starting to come to me now. Actually, I've heard of.
Yeah, it's basically you spawn in as a duck, and then you just go find a gun, try to be the last one standing. That's pretty much it.
Simple.
Been playing that. GeoGuessr is a game I play a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I used to do that all the time in school.
I am max rank in GeoGuessr.
I didn't realize there was a ranking.
I completely forgot. Like whenever they released the whole battle royale thing, I was like, right, this is being taken seriously now.
Yeah. They got a proper ranked mode like pretty recently.
I haven't played it in like 3-4 years.
Yeah. So I'm rank 100 in GeoGuessr, and I would say after I got max rank, I would say I've played it quite a bit less. But I would say GeoGuessr and Rocket League would probably be my main games, because whenever I tilt at Rocket League, I have a bad habit of just playing save Rocket League still, because I don't really have that many other games I like to go to.
Yeah.
Very picky.
I know that's what I would be like. You're just like, I get tilted at CS and I'm just gonna keep playing, and then eventually it just gets worse and worse. Like I'm on a huge loss streak right now. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful. Yeah.
I know exactly
It's
how
terrible.
you feel.
It's just nothing but stress at the minute. Just trying to get ranked up.
It must be so much worse for League, because like a match is what, like half an hour, 40 minutes.
My last few games have all been like an hour long, and I've been like so done with it for like after like 20 minutes, and I'm just like, I've got to play another 40 minutes.
I know, it's like CS have been like that for me recently. Like I played a solo queue a few nights ago that went through 7 overtimes.
Damn.
So that was, I think the score ended up being 32 to 31 or something like that.
Jesus.
So like that's well over 60 rounds of just nothing but like pain. I mean, we won it in the end, but like, and then the next game after was another overtime that was 2 or 3. So you're playing well over 40-50 rounds a game.
Yeah.
And never a 30 round match lasts about an hour and 15 minutes. So if you had to imagine number 20 rounds and after that, sometimes like the longest one has been 2.5 hours for one game, which is just
I guess
borderline.
The point where, like, once, I guess the point where like if and when you win, it's just so bittersweet. You're just like, thank God that's over.
It's
I
it's
didn't
more
care.
it's more hitting the borderline of, do I start throwing to make it end quicker,
Yeah.
or just do I just keep going? Because there's sometimes you'll go through all those matches just to earn 7 elo.
Yeah, I mean,
like-
I would, but like the ban system on League is so scuffed.
Is it?
Like, so I got an account permabanned once just for calling someone shit because they were.
How'd you do?
Yeah, well, no, because he just came and died load of times, and I was like, "You are shit. Uninstall the game," and I got permabanned for that.
Like stuff like that. I think Valorant has a bit of an issue where the banning recently, like especially.
Well, same company, so.
Oh yeah, it's makes sense actually. No.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. Fuck.
I've seen a bunch of stuff for Valorant, like anti-cheat and stuff. It's like, Mark, did you ever use Bacchus Web when you use Rocket League or play Rocket League?
That's a good question. I don't even know. Don't know.
So Bacchus Mod's like I don't know, it's kind of like a mod that pretty much most Rocket League players have, and
I may know.
it lets you see like your MMR, other people's MMR, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone has it, but if you have that running, like if you've just got in the background running, like waiting for you to open Rocket League, but you open Valorant instead, you can get banned because Valorant's anti-cheat is very, very sensitive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's basically any third-party software that goes on the internet. Basically, they're like, "Nope, none of that, please."
Yeah, because
It's the same with League. In fact,
Yeah.
I think it won't even let you open it. And then you open it, it goes, "We've detected some stuff on your computer. Uninstall it and try again." It's like, oh, cool.
I had that issue with Valorant where if I had the face at AC running in the background and I stop it, it fully, whenever I launch the game, it fully freezes my mouse in the top left corner. And even if you try to exit the game, the mouse just stays locked. Like, it just locks your whole mouse. So we always have to restart. So you always have to make sure that whenever you launch the game, you're always moving your mouse. So that, because if you leave it still, it just locks itself in the corner. And it's a pain in the ass if I'm ever streaming it. And I'm like, fuck. Like, my mouse is just trapped in the corner, so I just need to restart like the whole thing. So that's why I always fear opening up Valorant in case the right anti-cheat just screws up on me. Although I wish CS's anti-cheat was sensitive to stuff, because you could literally show it a cheating software in front of Valve's face, and they're like, "No, it's alright."
Well, it's because it's free now. There's nothing they can do, because you get banned. It's like, oh, I'll just make another account.
It's been like that for the start. Like, they've never.
Oh yeah, no, well, I played it when it was paid,
and
I got away with hacking for so long.
Yeah, like exactly. Like if you had like a cheat that isn't detectable, like by VAC, which is very easy to do. Like it's a deck you're just going to be able to get away with it. Like, it's harder on face it's AC, but it still has its own loopholes to be able to get around it. That's why you don't see any like professional playing matchmaking ever.
Yeah.
It just there's no reason to. Like, you just go straight to face it. Like, I haven't played a game of matchmaking in maybe a year, because there's no point in playing it.
Yeah.
So
skipping ahead a little bit, as we have dwelled on that last topic for a little while.
True, actually.
We'll talk more about you than sort of games. Obviously, you're a content officer and have mentioned that you do various contents, such as like your podcast and your photography is content technically. What platforms do you post your content on, and what is your favorite and why?
So
Little 3-in-1.
How is it 3-in-1? I can guarantee I'm going to forget half of it, but it's content-wise would be, for what I would do, Twitch would be the main one. I mean, standard. Really, YouTube would be the secondary one below that, where it would be the one where like most of like the series go up if I ever do any Twitch highlights. It's mainly for like the short edited stuff. Like, sometimes I would stream to YouTube, but there's not very like I have over like 500 odd subs on that anyway, but streaming to a platform like that doesn't, just saying, but like streaming to like streaming to a platform like that, it doesn't really make much sense unless I'm doing a dual stream, which I can do through Streamlabs, where I can stream to both at one time. But at the minute, there's not really a point. I might as well just dedicate all the resources to Twitch because that's where the majority of the viewer base is for me. TikTok is such another one purely for stream highlights. That at the minute is such a if you know your way around hashtags and how to use titles, that's essentially how you can get big. That's where a lot of people started. Like if you get one video that hits 100k, 200k, that's all you need, and then you're rolling. I think the most I've had is, I think, in terms of likes wise, is like maybe 1,000. But that's just all pure luck if you know how to use your hashtags right. If you, like a lot of people, you'll see if you ever go on to it, the trend at the minute is Apple's close your ring on videos that just don't make, like, on like the most shit post of memes like ever. Like why, like you're probably, everyone's thinking, why do you put that tag there? Because it's trending. It's going to come up. It's going to come up in everyone's FYP. Like stuff like that. That's why everyone would use
all those like American white girls dancing with like hashtag close your ring. It's like,
yeah, it's like it doesn't make any sense because it's trending. I think it's not relevant at all. But that's what you kind of do just to pull people in, and then essentially like Twitch's one rule, even though they won't ever say it, is you get quote unquote famous on another platform and then bring everyone over, because Twitch doesn't have any discoverability at all. Like you can like the only way for you really to get notice on Twitch is to stream the games that has, let's say, a collective viewing of maybe 100 viewers. Like you don't want to, like if you're going to be jumping in with 0 viewers streaming Valorant, which has over 200k, nobody's going to scroll all the way to the bottom just to try to find. Well, let's just say if you play something like, let's say, World at War, because I know World at War's only got a couple hundred. You're maybe talking there's 11 people streaming it. There's a 1 out of 11 chance for you to be found, and then somebody just to find you. Like it's not like that means you have to play games that you don't want to play. Like that's sort of a good way to start, and then you can sort of get into more like bigger games from that. Because I know I started with YouTube is where I started. Like one of my, like I had that quote unquote fame moment where one of my videos, which is I still have it up because it puts my view base up, but it's how to transfer music from a Samsung to a PS3. And for some unknown reason, it hit 140k. For some unknown, I remember going back to it like a year later, or maybe 2 or 3 years later, and then just seeing how much I had, and I'm like, right. Which I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It was like a shocking video, like, but that's from there. Everything just kind of pulled up, because as soon as you reach that 1k, 2k, 3k. It's then just going to hit 10 and then 20 and then 40 and then 80, and then it's just going to keep going up because it's more it's deemed as popular, so it's more of a chance of it being trending then. But I haven't had anything happen like that since, because that's literally a one-hit wonder that had no reason to get to that like at all. It was like a 12-year-old squeaker just showing people literally how to plug their phone into the USB port and then click music. That was it. Like that had no reason. that had no reason to get like where that started. But then I started then with the streaming on that side. It stopped it until the start of 2020, and then kickstarted it all back up again. Where now my average viewers on Twitch is last stream was 13.8. We had a 1000% level free hype train as well, which where somebody, one of my friends from the from like another streamer who I would have known, Nicky T, because I know for right he's gonna watch this shit, is he dropped 50 subs at one point, and then from then as soon as somebody does something like that, everyone's then just gonna follow suit, and like it's just that from then. So that's like one of the main motivators for me, is just to keep going and doing stuff like that, is seeing the growth. And it's something that I've been enjoying doing much often. But if we were to say favorite platform, probably would be Twitch, just because that's the one that's more interactable for me. It doesn't take that much work. I mean, you'd have to plan it out, but you'd literally just click live and then you just go with the flow. Like yesterday, I clicked live without even knowing what game I was going to be playing, and then we just went off it from there for 3 hours. We played, I think, like 4 or 5 different games, and then YouTube would probably be next, with TikTok a wee bit behind, because TikTok would be like, it's like 20-second clips that you just easily do. I wouldn't devote my time. Like some people would devote their time to it, but I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be someone who like does any of that. Like the casual shit post here and there, like, but I wouldn't dedicate like my whole period of time to it, because I know Banner, you would stream quite a bit of Rocket League in the games and stuff.
Yeah, I streamed Rocket League and GeoGuessr mainly.
Those are some crackers, like. Like any of the Twitch clips I see of you are just class, because we would do a lot whenever it comes to tournaments. Like, I would probably try to stream at least one tournament a week, and that's what it sort of started. Like, I started streaming the tournaments at the start, and then sort of doing that's nice, but it's hard to keep people engaged whenever you've got a 2-minute delay on. So I would always try to combat it with a few other streams and that, and I mean it's going well. I mean it takes up a good portion of the week trying to plan everything. So at the minute, as I said at the start, free time just doesn't exist at all, and so it's just trying to plan it out in a day. But at least the good thing to know is that it's fun. Like, I love doing it. That's like maintained. Like, it's a thing where if it were to go extremely well, I would consider doing it all the time. Like, it's like a full time thing where I would consider it almost part time in a way, because I would sort of say, right, at least 3 or 4 a week, just because there's always like the same people there. You get to know everyone, and then with all the streams hitting 11, 12 people consistently for the full 3 or 4 hours, at least you know there's people there. And it's nice to see, because it can be demotivating whenever you only see 1 or 2 people there, but that's just a sign just to keep going, because it doesn't matter whether there's 1 or 100, there's someone there who wants to see you do better, and that's always that type of motivation to be like, right, well, let's just put the foot down and just go for it then. So I would still say that Twitch would be my main platform for doing stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, I guess Ben is too asleep. I was kind of waiting for him.
I was waiting for you. Sorry.
I was kind of hoping I kind of just sort of thought we were doing a me and you, but evidently not. So let's go on to how you got started, because I'm actually like interested in like what did you do to get started, and also why? Because I've tried it a few times in the past, you know, as a little sort of 14-year-old, 12, I think I might have been, maybe younger, and everyone's like, I'm going to be famous on YouTube, but obviously I wasn't, because I was like, I set up a camcorder on a tripod in my basement and played like Mario Party or something.
Yeah.
And obviously that failed, but like, yeah, so what did you do, and why did you get into streaming on Twitch?
Exactly what you did, actually. So it started back in that MW2 trick shotting phase, which I think everyone had at some point. So the first videos I ever did with my cousin at the time was just going into getting into a lobby, hoping that you and your friend are being put onto the opposite team, where you two then kill everyone, so it's just you two left. And then you have one person, especially on Quarry, at the bottom of the ladder, and pretending that he's shooting at you, and then he's shooting at the wall to make it look like it's real. And then you just try to hit a clip on them. And then whenever you do hit a clip, running to go ahead and get your like Nokia or something, setting it up on your bed and hoping that you manage to capture it, because at that time you could not afford any Elgatos weren't a thing, but game capture devices were a thing, but they were expensive. Those like HD PVRs at the time, they were expensive to get. We were not being able to get one of them. So essentially that like stuff is uploading those like 25-second clips is essentially what started, because at least nobody watched them. They're there. I still have them up on my channel now from, I want to say, at least 10 years ago, maybe. Was whenever I would have done them. And like doing stuff like that is probably where you would have started, and then that then got into where the webcam then would have been brought out, where we started doing whenever you would have went down to Asda and got a new mouse for your laptop, you're like, you know, I'm gonna make a fucking unboxing of this shit. And then like I did that once, and then it went into from there like the gameplay videos, whenever Bandicam was still a thing, having the fucking watermark up in the corner. Like stuff like that. And then eventually you were like, right, this is going well, because at that point then I stopped, because that was 4 or 5 consecutive years of doing that. But I was a kid who didn't it was just doing this for fun. And then I'm in no way now in a position to say that it's up at the top. But I'm at that point where I'm like, I could see this going somewhere, especially now.
Cool.
And you take a long break, and then I remember I started taking it a bit seriously again whenever Black Ops 3 came out, which was Black Ops 3 7 or 8 years old now, which I find kind of insane. Yeah, which I think is insane. Where that then started the whenever PS4 introduced the ability to had a game capture built into it. So I could do the streaming and YouTube off that, and I was like, this is really good. Like I can edit it straight off that. I don't have to worry about anything else, which I think was a game breaker. It was like a game changer even for me, where I could just edit straight off that, post it straight to it, and not have to worry about anything else. So that's whenever the zombies tutorial guides then started to come out, and that's whenever I was like, I'm going to take this seriously now. And then another break happened and then whenever we switched over to PC, essentially this is where we go into now. We're like, right, I have the editing knowledge from my course, I have the esports experience, I can sort of see, right, you've been watching YouTube videos for at least 12, 13 years of your life. You know how it's done without even knowing, like, right, where do I start? But you already have that study experience of knowing, right, well, if Jacksepticeye or something is doing something like this, why can't I do the exact same? Because you need to remember that you can look at PewDiePie, you can look at all the rest of the guys. They had 6 or 7 years of literally nothing, but they still kept going, because it's not going to be you're gonna have that one kid on the block who has one video and then it blows up, and that's him set up from there, really. But it's 99% of the time it is that 5 or 6 year maximum 2 views a video, and nobody gives a fuck. But you sort of just have to keep that pressure going, and then that pressure then leads into another platform, which then leads into another platform, and then you then combine all three into one big, like, sort of like community type thing. Because I would say Discord's helped out a lot with that, in terms of getting people together and like saying, hey, I'm live, come on. And everyone's like, oh yeah, sure, I've got let's see who this is. Next thing you know, they stay there for the full 3 or 4 hours, and then they end up loving life. It's grabbing people's attention, and being able to include people. Including's a big thing. Like what Twitch did recently, where if somebody's new and it says first time viewer or like first time chatter, you essentially need to be like, if somebody walks out the front of your shop looking in through the window, you just essentially just want to grab them, bring them in, and just say, hey, look at this place. You want to buy something? And then they was like, no, I'm okay. And you're like, no, buy. Like you just want to be like, right, can you stay and just like watch for maybe like another 5 or 10 minutes? They're like, yeah, right, okay. So you just ask them all the questions, like, how was your day? How's things going? Catherine started me on what did you have for dinner, and that's been that's been a hit for me, because everyone just loves to be able to get involved in seeing what everyone's just been eating. Like that, like she definitely knows marketing well. To like, especially with her like emotes and stuff, like she has it down to like a T. So I wouldn't want to say I stole it, but essentially I stole it off her, because now that she's been in work full time, I essentially been taking over the what did you have for dinner role. So everyone that comes to me, I always just ask them that sort of question. But it's that type of trying to get the experience of it's just like, it's public speaking in a way. You have to be warm and welcome. Like you always see a lot of people, especially whenever I raid people, quite common. Like I would always try to pick somebody small, but then they're just like, oh, thank you. And you're just like, is that it? You know, it's like it's usually whenever people like read, you sort of have to be that like energetic about it, and then you have to be like sort of like thankful, but you have to be that type of personality who people aren't afraid to go to and essentially just talk with them, like someone who you've never seen before. You're essentially just having a full-on conversation, where by the end of it, you figured out they've got 4 kids, 2 dogs, and they have a brown front door. Like, I don't like, that's not going to change my life, but the fact that somebody's asked them about their day could mean the difference. Like, it's just like talking to people. It's just like, it's like a nice feeling, and then you stop streaming for a few days, you come back on to figure out that they're back again, and you just repeat the whole process again with them. And it's just one big community after all. So it's trying to I've learned that experience over the years of just talking to people. I'm still shy as fuck whenever it comes in real life. Like, I'm terrible. But you see, whenever I'm like here, and then whenever you sort of get into like the swing of things, like there's nothing better than quick and start live, and you're sitting there, and then just like, and then whenever the starting stream bit comes up, and there's like already 6 or 7 people that are all having their wee mini conversations, and then you then come in. There's nothing better than that, which I think is like the best thing for me, and then that then just keeps going on for the whole thing. So it's nice. Essentially, Twitch has been still the best platform, I would say, for me at the moment anyway.
Good. So going on to a different type of content, aside from streaming and stuff, you mentioned that you do film for your degree. So what would be, if you were making a project, what kind of role would you take on? Would you be like more of a director? Would you be a cameraman? Would you have to get actors? Like, how would that all work?
In terms of experience wise, it would probably be either be editing or color would be like the cinematography. So anything you see camera movement wise or any lighting wise would be what I would love to do. Because like as I was saying before, directing is like one of them things where, I mean, you're there telling people what to do, but if anything ever goes wrong, I mean, it's your fault at the end of the day. So if it's like, you know, it's a shit film whenever you watch it, like it's mainly because like directing isn't the best sort of way. You really have to be kind of strict with how you sort of work with people, which I would say if anyone shouts at me, I'd be like, I'm sorry. even though I'm in the right. And then producing again, it's just like that like hounding people for being like, why isn't this done? Because you're literally, it's just muddy down the toilet like every day that you're like 10 or 15 minutes behind on a schedule, and that's like, it's really like, it's just a pain. But I would say in terms of being the most active, like cinematography being my main one. But there's been 2 projects I've done where I've done literally everything. I wrote it, I produced it, I directed it, and I also did the cinematography. Like I did everything you could do, but that's because we only had 2 actors at the time, and it's easy enough. But in terms of a full-scale production, I figured out whenever you go into uni that if you're only doing one role, it's the best thing to do because you can focus your whole time on that. You don't have to worry about, oh shit, well, do I have the money for that? And then you go into editing, and then after it, and you're like, right, well, can I do this? And you figure out, oh, bollocks, and you go head back and reshoot this, and you go ahead, and you need to be the one that reschedules everything, and it's just a bit too much work. Like, I would do another short film again by myself. Like, I already have plans. Like, I have a few scripts already written by myself that I could sort of be like, I can just sort of start this at any time where it only requires one person. And then that's easy enough, like 2 or 3 minutes, and just smash it out all in one day. But those like bigger uni projects where there's like a big team of people, it's nice just to be able to focus on one role. So I would say film my cinematography would be the one I want to focus on, because it's handy with me being used to editing and color, because then I can do as much in camera as possible, and I essentially just have all the creative freedom that I could ever want. So it's handy that I can sort of look at someone and be like, right, well, moody lighting, how can I make this look nice, essentially. And it's the most fun bit for me. For most people it's not, because the only reason I think it's cool, because if you ever see those guys, especially with what DJI and likes are doing with those big chest mounts, those like, and then they have like the 8K red cameras on them, or jumping out of buildings. I'm like, that's cool. Producers don't do that. They just sit in an office. I'm like jumping out of buildings with like harnesses on me with a camera shot in my back. I mean stuff like that's cool. Or else you're like on top of cranes, just like pointing stuff down. It's like getting hands on with the stuff and actually being there in the middle is the most fun thing you can do, which I think is why it's the part where I'm more, I don't want to say technically gifted, but I'm more technically advanced in. Like, I know more about it, like, in terms of my experience, and then being able to, like, have a shot that looks terrible and make it as good as I can, and sort of just switching off and being like, right, my field of view is the camera now. Like, I sort of have that ability to sort of be like, right, I have a good mindset whenever it comes to sort of imagining what a scene could be like. So that's why I think cinematography for me is the way to go for me, and that's where I think I'm going to be sticking for basically all my productions now.
Good.
Pog.
So,
oh, sorry.
Pog.
Oh, I was just going to move
This
on.
is so awkward. We need we need to have like something to hold. Like, I'm gonna speak now.
A buzzer.
Yeah.
It's just like a raise our hands or something.
Yeah, let's change this podcast. Get it off Discord. Go on to Microsoft Teams.
I hate Teams.
Oh mate, it's the worst.
It's terrible.
I have 2 modules a week. Sorry, two lectures a week, and one of them is online still.
Still,
it's just like, ugh, why?
This is nothing but pain because I'm back in person every day now.
Like I'm all right. Like I do like online lectures because I can do it in bed and I don't have to leave the house, so I can just sit at my computer all day and I can do other stuff as well at the same time.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like I came to go to uni.
Yeah.
You know, I've basically just moved out of the house and got a job, and also I watch videos that teach me things in theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I'm not like at uni.
You're more like doing like an open university course compared to
basically.
like
Not to sound like every student at Queen's, but yeah.
99.9% of everyone at the moment is just like, well.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so more content, obviously, because you are the content boy, and that's entirely your fault that we're asking all about this.
Yeah, true.
You are cheating on our podcast Love Child with another podcast, Gits and Shiggles.
To be honest, technically I'm cheating on them.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, that was
right.
that one was.
Oh, I thought you'd been doing your little podcast for a while.
I would say because at the minute we haven't done one episode not in a while, but I've been doing the episode of this. So technically at this very moment I'm cheating on them with you, and then whenever we go back to that I'll be cheating on you with them. So because that was the first original one, so it's with my best pals, Reese and Michael, because this was at the time whenever COVID was like the first thing, and then Reese came to me and was like, he put up on his Snapchat story, he said, should I start a podcast? And then me and Michael were the only ones that responded and said, yes, can we be on it? And essentially that's how it started with, it was just us three. It was how we're doing it now on Discord. It's just like recording it. So this is why I'm doing this exact same system of recording this. That's how I started with it. And we spent maybe a week trying to figure out the name. And then either it was me or one of them, I don't exactly remember. At least I think it was me, but I don't honestly know. Where one of us was like, I mean, we can't call it shits and giggles, but can we call it gits and shiggles instead? So we just swap around the words to make it, you know, Apple and Spotify friendly. And then we just kept it at that. So it's literally just gits and shiggles instead of shits and giggles. Which I think honestly is the best thing I could have thought of.
I think it's quite good.
I think it's
quite the name.
And it really reflects what we do, because we, as you probably know now, you have all the writer's notes, post notes, and then you have reviews. We literally
if they do it. Writers, damn it, you.
Controversial, but if you thought that was bad, we click record with zero ideas of what we're going to talk about, what are the topics, or anything. We essentially just go into it.
I think that's good sometimes, you know, so you can just talk about what you want, and then when you're done, you're done.
It's a complete shit show, is what it is. Like, it really is. Like,
you know, is that like the aim of it?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. That is the aim of it. But we could do sometimes, like, our first few months were scripted. Like, we would have had, like, we'll usually what we always do at the start is what did we do in the week, because we used to do weekly episodes. We'd be like, right, what did we do in the week, and then at the end we always had like this like question. What we would have, like, in between, we just had, let's say, right, we'll do gaming, this and this. Nothing about in between. Somebody, you say one question, and then the whole thing then just rolls into it, and that's what I think was great. It was fucking fantastic. Whenever we did that, it was just so much fun. And it started off with YouTube actually, and then as you know, like first episode is always like the big one, and then we moved to in person stuff. So we actually did them in person, where we just had this mic in the middle, and that even was even more chaotic. That was even more chaotic. Like there was one clip, our most viewed clip, is because Reese is bald, and you always have there was just one clip where Reese starts smacking Michael, and an island come behind his head, is on his head, and just like whack him in the back, and then it just proceeds into chaos. Like it's just like it doesn't make any sense, but it's just fun to watch. And then we eventually got into the Spotify and Apple Music market then, where we would do some episodes on that, but then YouTube would still be the main one, because after all, it is an in-person one, like how we're doing it. So I mean, the general topics would have been just see where it went, to start chatting shit, and then it was mainly just like a general podcast. Like we would have done, let's say, what are the new games coming out, like career experiences, like what's been going on news wise. It's just not one episode was the same. Like how we focus on esports here, we could then do an episode on esports and the other one. Like we did an episode on esports whenever I was first starting with QB actually doing that. So we did an episode on that talking about COD. It's like we haven't done one in a good few months just because we've been like also like busy with stuff, but we are bringing it back. Like it will happen. And I'm just and I'm so excited to get back into it because I miss it so much.
It sounds like fun. I'll give it a watch at some point. You
should be already watching it.
I know I should be, but
I think we've done.
You're just not on my radar.
Oh, sorry. I think we've did. I think it's 10 or 11 episodes or less. We've done. So because we started doing like one every 2 weeks. I think it may even be more. Actually, so we've done all likes of that, and then we've had audiences before, like before, and then that was really fun, and then. It's what we still get. What we really want to get back into it. So say that's like my other child. This is also my child, this is how this whole thing came to be, was because it's, as you know, it's Simon's love baby. It's his child. I remember Connor, Irish Fox, sending me about it as well, and I was like, right. Well, Simon, you're in luck because I do this. So everything what you see now, like I essentially transferred over to him, and I'd be right, I'll help you just get this all started. And it was nice to know that my experiences helps like get more people involved. Yeah. And it's like well, I assume that you enjoy doing it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like I said,
as excited as me and Beta both have looked throughout this whole thing. Like no, it's good fun to do. I love doing this kind of thing. I do one of my modules last semester was on podcasts and stuff, and I do a music-based one elsewhere.
Nice.
I'd love to do this.
It's just fun stuff, like being able to transfer all the skills over, and then it's just fun, really, because like it's one of the things. It's not really a big market, but doing it is just like chatting shit for like an hour and a half, and then just the time just goes by. Like you don't even realize until you're at the end how long it was. And then how much you ended up talking about. Like this is why whenever we do it, we just have it so unscripted. It's just a pure shit show. That's just all it is. Like I think
I'm fine with it being long because you're the one that has to edit it.
True.
My voice recording is currently on an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh shit. Well, well, I mean, I think with me as edit. Well, I have to edit the sounds off it now.
Exactly.
Oh fuck shit! I have my own deadlines that I need to meet. This is
which is great because. Any audio that I'm not sure if it's picked up on the Discord recording, but it definitely has on my Reaper recording. You get to hear me moving in my chair quite a lot because I'm just so uncomfortable at the moment, and it just sounds like I'm just ripping shit the whole time.
I have like heard it once.
Yeah,
so that's like another.
But like obviously it's fine with the video because you can see me moving, but on Discord you'll just hear like a.
It's like everyone on Spotify is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, unreal. So. That's another one of the many projects I end up working on.
Cutting out people's farts from audio clips.
That's one of the many roles I have. It's not a very exciting time, but it makes me look busy. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's good. And then to sort of finish off, less contenty, more about you. What do you do outside of content? Walk us through a sort of day in the life of Mark, not to read off the prompt.
That's a fucking hard one. So I'll just say straight. Nice one.
I want it.
Banner loved that one.
Quality content.
That is quality. Right, that's content.
That's how you can tell that I'm absolutely shattered when I start working out, like things like that.
Like it would, like for me day in life, like I can go for my day in life today actually. So it was so today I woke up actually at 6 in the morning because I had a whole bunch of stuff to get done, and like I had a class from 1 to 5, but from I think maybe from about 6 to 8 it was actually gym. Because outside of it I would be quite exactly I would be like, even though there's esports, I would be like quite sporty anyway whenever it comes to like either golf, volleyball, badminton, football, rugby. Quite a lot of stuff is what I would do, like golf, and that would be probably the main one of what I would do. And gym is another thing I always try to think in, just because lift heavy, lightweight baby, you know, and all that, and just overdose.
We love a good powerlifter.
Just overdosing as much caffeine as you probably can, and then just going for it. Like it's just like as you do. And then
I cleaned out all the cans out of my room. Maybe 2-3 days ago.
Just like
and there's already 12 cans of Monster on my desk, empty.
Exactly, because I would be more of like there he is. Like I wouldn't be honestly a Monster person. I'd be more like that, like pre-workout type of, like creatine type of bloke.
Oh, that's all down in the kitchen.
See, you already have all that, and so you got like double the more the amount than what I would do. But
yeah, no, my pre-workout is a triple scoop. Pre-workout drink. Oh, triple, mate. I'm
Jesus Christ.
And then a dry scoop, and also a Monster, and I bring a Monster to the gym.
Jesus Christ! Right, I thought I was bad.
I've got a severe cavity, but I'm also I used to be an absolute gym rat.
Because I'm borderline
injured lately.
Oh, injured.
You're what?
Oh, you're injured.
I am. I've got a bad hip. Unfortunately, the hip of about an 8-year-old.
Well, but if you got a bad hip, you can do your upper body then.
No, every day is leg day.
I honestly, I'm a hater of leg day. Well, I'll still do it, but like whenever it comes around, I'm like.
Everyone is. I used to have 4 leg days a week. I love squatting.
Oh no, like that's fun, but it's just whenever it comes to it, I'm like, right, I'm like, okay. Like I'll go.
Leg day is my favorite day. I spent like my longest. I've spent literally like 6 hours on leg day at once. It was in COVID, so I had nothing else to do. But I just spent 6 hours in the gym doing legs.
I couldn't. I'm done after like 20 minutes.
But also, I got like mad powerful quads. I can squat 300 kilos.
I don't even know what my match is. I haven't done PRs in a while. Which I mean, I would never do PRs like on my own. That's like the thing I've always feared. Like at this, I'm making a fucking fool out of myself. But like, it's other. And then as soon as gym's done, it's. I think we came back home by 8:30. So I'm looking at the clock now. I'm trying to reimagine it. Then I think we edited a new video actually for it was one of the road to level 10s in CS that I've been working on. So we've done a video on that, and then other than that, it was mainly just studying the whole day. And then we had a class then from 1 to 5, and then we came back home, and now we're like doing this. Usually I would stream in this evening, but I didn't this time because
we kept you.
Yeah, sorry.
Your loyal fans are waiting. Where is he?
There actually is some people who would be inside of my offline chat actually wondering where I am. Like if I say right, I'll come on at 7:30 and it's like 9:15, and then they're just like you're so I can see the chat history. There's people just chatting away, and it's like people are just there always waiting, because those are the people like because I know there's like a good few, there's maybe about 30 or 40 of them where I came from like another streamer at the time. Now this is coming back to that idea of you doing like another thing I would do outside is just like it's just like social media, just like browsing a lot, which is probably not really a very productive thing in my time. But at the time, whenever
I know the same. My girlfriend hates it. I spend probably 90% of my time on TikTok scrolling through.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's.
And I feel so bad for doing it, but I just can't not. It's like, oh, I'm doing nothing. TikTok.
I know exactly.
The amount of times, even during this recording, I've been like,
oh yeah, I want to.
Bane's got the next question. In theory, I could just
scroll,
mute myself and look at TikTok.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you. Like, I mean, it's just like it's that type of addiction.
It's borderline addiction.
Yeah, like that's like literally what it's just like scrolling through the FYP. It'd just be fun. But there was one time whenever I was going through, and then somebody came up, which this comes back to the idea of networking, is you're going to be your best friend. This is never had a streamer. It's an NA streamer called Jivlia at the time, which she still is, and then it's just stepping out your comfort zone and joining a random Discord server with a whole bunch of Americans. It's just like the weirdest thing on the planet. And I remember, yeah, exactly. And then I joined them at the time because it comes back to that idea of TikTok just getting to know people. And essentially I was there just like I was chatting, I was mainly like the CS:GO chat like quite a lot and getting to know for like maybe a few weeks or so, and I was like, you know what, this is fun. Why don't I just say fuck it and just apply for mod? It's just for the crack to see what happens. And I remember applying for it, and then I remember applying for it, and then 20 minutes later getting sent a friend request, and then like being like accepted on it. And I will say, because I know Fine Right did that she is gonna watch this. Like I think she's close to hitting 10k on Twitch, and then at least close to 100k I think on TikTok. Like she's big on the likes of that. As I know Fine Right, she's going to be watching this, and I will say that I waffled my way through that fucking thing. Like I waffled my way through the likes of all that like forum, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this like for the crack, right? And then started off as like Twitch modding, and then Discord modding, which I'm still doing Discord modding now, because let's be honest, trying to Twitch mod at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just doesn't work whenever they're on like different time zones and shit. And it gets to that point where you're well known in that like one sort of region, where, because I would be the only like Irish like person in it, so it's filled with like Americans, Canadians, essentially. I think there's well over 5,000 to 6,000 people in that Discord alone, and everyone like if you've ever walked in my stream, and if you've ever seen Kevin say like Mork, like MORK,
yep,
that's where it started from. So that's essentially what I would have been known in there, because somebody called me Mork in there once, and that's essentially what my name goes by. And you build up that reputation of knowing everyone's in there, so every single time you message in there, like everyone sort of knows the name and everyone sort of knows who you are. Where I would come out and say I owe at least 90% of my accesses to that server, to that whole community, because it's like, because everyone sort of knows who you are. So whenever you say, look, I'm streaming, everyone's coming over just to see, because they know who you are. Then everyone just loves like what you're doing, and then because everyone's just so nice, despite them being Americans, they are just like really, really nice people.
Despite being American,
I know. Like I mean there's some of them I know which are just like outside would be like typical Americans, but everyone in there is actually really sound and dead on, where they gift a lot, like they just love like what you're doing. And then every single time I come into her Twitch chat, like she's like all like, oh, well, I think she likes me. To be honest, she probably doesn't, because I'm like annoying as fuck. But
well,
like,
we'll find out now.
I know, yeah,
she's gonna watch it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's everyone sort of sees you in there, and then she like raided me once with like 160 people.
That's mad.
And then it's like that then sort of started it from there, because I want to say, like, whenever you go into my Twitch stats, it says viewership is 96% from her channel, which is like, which I think is unreal. So I literally would owe like all of my successes to her, literally. Like I couldn't be more thankful for what's been set up at the time, and then I'm still really, really heavy affiliated with all of them anyway. So it comes back to that point where if you network correctly, look what happens. Yeah. Essentially, that's more just luck more than anything. It literally is.
A lot of success is like who you know.
Yeah, it's literally owing all my success to knowing people in there, and then sort of making myself known that I am a nice person. I think we're going to figure out after this. So, and it's just comes back to that point of just being open, and being open with the idea of getting to know more people, and then not essentially stealing people, but like combining forces and just helping each other out, because I've received plenty of tips of how to get started, and then I've then give tips then back, which I always had this thing, being, if you ever watching, whenever I like the camera gets like zoomed in like on my like portion of my like face, where I would do that. She then started doing that, and I gave her shit for it because I remember just watching one time. Which to be fair, she probably got it off someone else, but I'm just saying I did it first. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, like so.
You are.
Exactly, I was the first ever person that done it. All right, and then so it's nice because that's essentially from that point onwards. It's just been onwards and upwards from there, and I'm extremely thankful for Reverend. They're just great. They're just great bunch of lads. Like, so some of them are weird, but you know what? So am I. Like, so it is what it is. So essentially, day in the life would be too much. no like free time, basically. So and I'm working as well. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Even though this shit counts like a job, so basically got like 4 right now. So
yeah, being an adult is hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just adult life. You know, don't like it.
Me neither. I want to be a kid again.
Same. I would die for that. Just to be able to hop on MW2 with the boys and just forget about everything. That's just.
Oh no, me and the boys as kids, we went on Destiny because we were cool.
Really?
Yeah.
The fuck?
What?
That's. I was not expecting.
That was the popular game when I was young.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shame Destiny 2 isn't popular anymore. So
Destiny 2 was shit. I mean, Destiny 1 became shit, but yeah, that's sure we can do an episode on Destiny at some point.
Oh god, I'll just have you just ranting about it for like an hour and a half.
I can talk about it. I was actually really good at it. I was like top tier. But then like after I think the 4th or 5th DLC came out, I was like, this is just gone to shit now.
Yeah, like, I want to get back into Destiny 2, but I couldn't. I don't know how. There seems like there's so much.
I don't know. I don't have an Xbox One. So I got it on is it Nvidia, where you just like basically stream it online and play it.
Yeah.
And I basically finished everything you could do solo player in like a week. I thought there wasn't enough stuff.
Yeah, it probably is. Like, I just those type of games. I'm just like, you probably need to play it with other people who know how to play it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, most things are like that. They're just better with other people.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
But yeah, that's brought us to the end of the episode. So you've only got sort of 20-30 minutes of extra editing to do.
I was about to say literally, because like that just like was like that was fun. It was just being just smiling in the corner of my screen. It's just like just like look at him go, you know. It's just
since you're editing, are we doing like an outro thing or
what? Like as in
like comment,
bye bye.
No, like thanks for watching and listening. Come back next week.
Probably say come to my Twitch channel.
Click that subscribe button. Click that bell. Don't forget the like.
Bell, ring the bell. Click like. You can click dislike if you want, but we won't be able to see it. So because they've
either way, it affects the algorithm.
True. Don't.
So we need to get a thumbnail ready.
Oh shit! Just like shocked faces all around.
Don't forget the red circles.
Oh yeah, like the big red question marks as well. Just roll a bunch of them on as well. He looks confused.
I'm confused. I have no idea what you're on about.
What?
What big red circles? Oh shit!
YouTube thumbnails.
YouTube thumbnails.
I do not watch on YouTube.
Oh no, but there's none. Actually, what is the big red circles? I've already forgotten. Better explain.
Explain?
Yeah,
just name someone that uses them. I'll just look them up
now. Sunday SSUNDEE, I think.
Yeah, got it.
He's just researching.
There's no big red circles. There's just Among Us and Minecraft, basically.
Just Among Us. What does this outro become like? This is definitely not a planned outro.
All right, I've stopped recording my record anyway. So
great outro.
It just